I've seen too many talented entrepreneurs burn out as they try to scale their business. That's why I'm on a mission to show you a better way. During countless hours working with seven-figure CEOs, I have distilled a way to scale pretty much any business in a simple formula. Hi, my name is Mario Lanzarotti, high performance coach with a blend of business and spirituality. I have delivered a TEDx talk with over 2.3 million organic views, and I've coached well over 1,000 business owners to scale their business to multi six and seven figure levels without burning out in the process. At the end of this video, I'll explain why you'll never be truly free and rich as a glorified solopreneur and what to do instead to hit your dream revenue levels without the usual stress. You're running a business. Do any of these sound familiar? You're stuck in that solopreneur mindset that tells you, I have to do everything myself. So you're doing client fulfillment, you're doing marketing, sales, you're doing operations, you're wearing all of the hats. But to scale, the obvious answer is to train and hire people, but you fear that you're going to lose control of your business, that you're not a good enough leader, or that the people that you train are then going to take all of that knowledge, maybe even take clients and move away to another place, or you don't like uncomfortable conversations. And obviously, if you hire more people, you got to have more uncomfortable conversations. But this kind of mindset leads to burnout, leads to failure, and it makes it impossible for you to get the life that you wanted when you first decided to become an entrepreneur. All of my clients come to me and they move through this one single shift that changes the game for you so you can move away from solopreneur and become the CEO. What I'm talking about is a shift in your mind. It's a change in how you view yourself, to no longer think of yourself like a solopreneur, but a CEO. That means you're no longer a task finisher, but the visionary where the whole ship of the business moves towards. And in order to make that shift successful, you have to overcome certain limiting beliefs and embrace a whole new way of thinking. Remember, you are a leader, not a hustler. As a CEO, you have to be able to let go of certain ideas. One of them being that somehow when you train people, it'll be a waste of time because either they will leave you or they will take away your clients. And I can tell you, if you provide a powerful vision for the people in your team and you show them how their own individual needs and goals fit into that vision, and then you empower them through your training to be able to take on more responsibility so they can earn more money and feel they're contributing to a greater picture, they will not want to leave you because they are so successful and they're thriving in the ecosystem that you're creating. And even if they decide to leave, don't you believe that the more good you do, the more good will come back to you? Maybe not directly from that person who left, but in plenty of other ways. Personally, I believe in something like karma, and I think you do too. There is one other thing that you have to address as a leader. How do you make sure the people on your team don't just slack off and don't do the work? Their performance drops. That's where you focus on effort, on the process, rather than the outcome. You measure what they put in each and every day, and you reward what they put in each and every day. Now you're taking them away from being attached to an outcome and to focus on falling in love with the process. And I understand delegating and hiring can be difficult. Giving up control might make you anxious. So here's a couple baby steps that you can take very quickly that will help you with this. Number one is you have to identify your zone of genius, what you do best, what you love most, and what has the highest return on investment for your business. I don't have to explain one and two, but number three, the highest return on your business. If you're a solopreneur and you're designing your own marketing flyers, your social media posts, the graphics and all of that, that's something that you can delegate for $5 to $10 per hour. Doing that yourself with your time is a waste of time. Even if you like it and if you're good at it, you should not be doing that. So the zone of genius should be aiming for doing only what you do best, what you love most, and what's the highest return on investment for your business. Once you identify what your ideal zone is, obviously there's a gap. What do you do next? Next, you do a time audit. You take a look and you do this, say, 72 hours. Identify where is all of your time going? What are you doing that's not inside your zone of genius? so that you can move more time, more energy into your zone of genius. The more you're focused on your zone of genius, the faster your business will grow and the more effortless. Naturally, in that same process, you're going to have to identify at some point, I got to hire people. But this will give you a step by step plan on what hires you need to make first. And there's a great tool that you can use. It's called Clockify that will do the time tracking automatically. Once the people are in your company, you want to develop standard operating procedures. Standard operating procedures is merely a way of saying, here's how I get to this result. Here's how I book a new meeting, right? First step that I do is I go on LinkedIn. Then what I do is I go into Sales Navigator. Then what I do is I type in this keyword. Just document exactly how you do what you do, and you break it down to what you take for granted. Now, if you want a more detailed breakdown on how to develop your own SOP, click this video here and I'll show you more. Now that you know what needs to be delegated, what you should not be doing anymore, how do you even find those people? How do you find the people that are the best for you? The first thing that I would do is I would work with ChatGPT to determine your personal 5 dominant values. Those values determine what's most important to you in life. Once you figured out your own, you tell ChatGPT that you want to hire a person and you want to make sure that they are a fit with your values. So you should have similar values. If you just ask a person, hey, what are your values? Then they will just pick something that comes to mind. But if you ask them questions, their real values will be revealed to you. For instance, if one of your values is responsibility, you could ask them, how do you deal with setbacks? If they have responsibility as a value, they'll give you a whole breakdown. If they don't, they'll probably start stuttering and coming up with excuses and weird things, and you can quickly tell, is this a good fit or not? Don't just hire based on can they get the job done. Hire based on are they a fit with me? Because you want to get people that will stick to you and your vision for longer than just a couple months or even a year. And then once you have that, warm network over cold network. Reach out to your immediate environment. Make a list of like 10 people that you know that can help you find that kind of person that you're looking for, or may know someone that could have that person. Use your social media, post online, but use warm traffic over cold traffic. Platforms like Upwork also work, but that again is cold traffic. Start with warm traffic. It's easier, it's more effective, and people already know you. If you want a more detailed breakdown on how to do all of this, then click this video here and I'll see you there. One of the most important elements of a CEO is communication. You are not a dictator. You're also not their friend. You got to be able to clearly and powerfully bring across a message. One of the best ways that I know is a tool called Nonviolent Communication by Marshall Rosenberg. I highly recommend that here on YouTube, go search for it. There's multiple videos where he talks about it. But the best thing about that is, see, let's say one of your team members doesn't show up for an important meeting. Now you feel anger, you feel disrespected. He didn't respect my time. How dare you do that? If you now go address this and you want to clear out what happened and you go, hey, you disrespected my time, now that's an attack. You're making an assumption. You don't know whether he disrespected your time or not. That's just how you're feeling. But if you don't own what you feel, now it becomes an attack. And the problem is when people feel attacked, they put up the barriers. Now there's no more trust. Now there's no flow of communication. And now you build up resentment, which over time moves people apart, and that breaks up all performance and team play. In the communication as a leader, you want to always speak with clear expectations. So before you get into a meeting, write down, what do you want them to do? How do you want them to show up? Write it down in clarity. Don't make an assumption that they understand. In fact, when you share the expectations, ask them, what do you understand? What do you hear that I said? Is that all clear to you? Does that make sense to you? Can you confirm back that we're on the same level? It may seem obvious and you may think, oh, they should know that, but don't take anything for granted because those small things become big problems later down the line. And then in your communication, I recommend that you reward effort. Speak into the effort. Well done for sticking to your commitments. Well done for the way that you showed up today. Well done for the ideas that you brought into the meeting. Reward effort, because if it's only outcome-based, people lose motivation. You're not always going to hit the outcomes you want. It's just the nature of life. But if you can reward and communicate into the effort that they're putting in each and every day, they feel valued, they feel seen, they feel respect, and that means they're performing at higher levels. And then lastly, how do you keep track of performance? Two ways. One, I've already mentioned it. I'll go into a little bit more detail. Focus on process-driven goals. When you hire a person, have a meeting with them and determine together, what do you want them to focus on? If you want them to help you book 10 meetings per week, what does that mean every day? They should be reaching out to 100 people. They should be knocking on 50 doors. What does it mean? Give them a specific process-oriented goal that they can control, that's within their hands. And then what you do is you agree on a document, could be a simple Excel file that has, all the days, where they have to sort of tick off all of the process-driven things that they have completed that day. That will make sure that you know and they know where they're at. There's accountability there. And if they ever are not doing those process-driven goals, then you can have a conversation and say, hey, what's going on? How can I support you? And that's it. These simple steps can scale any business. Delegating doesn't mean you're giving up control. It means you're empowering other people to do what you're doing right now so you can bring forth the vision of your ideal life and business. My name is Mario Lanzarotti, and if you are a business owner or CEO ready to move to the next level in your business and life, click the link in my bio for my free Zenpreneur guide. Or if you've ever felt stressed out and anxious about all the responsibilities in your business, and you want to know the one breathing technique that saved my life and transformed my business, click this video here, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.